And it's just like the t-shirts where you can make really incredible, funny, cool designs and then sell them to people. Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Bree and I love zines. Oh my gosh, do I love zines. And today I want to talk about how zines may not make you rich, but there's some products that can. I'm rich, bitch! I get so many questions about how I'm able to make zines full-time, which I just want to say I think there's a misconception about what I do. I am a full-time artist that primarily focuses on zines, and the way I'm able to do that is by diversifying my income. It's not like I make a living off my zines per se, it's more so I make a living off these other things, and these other things help me fund my zine making process. I don't know everything, but I do want to share what I do know in order to help you maybe do the same thing. Okay, so this video may not be for everyone. All right, I don't want to hear it in the comments saying that you can't make money from zines or anything like that. That's not true. I don't believe that. I think you should absolutely make money from your work if that's what you want to do. But I know that everybody treats this medium and platform differently. Okay, so if the title drew you in because you're like, I want to make money, but I don't want to necessarily have to hike the price up of my zines to do it, then this is just what I do. Okay. Oh, hi, hello. I got up for a second. I already gave a disclaimer, I guess, about what this video is about, because I know not everybody that makes zines wants to make money from their zines or even wants to make being a full-time artist a thing, wants that to be their main gig. I understand.
So I just want to give a little disclaimer
that what I'm sharing in this video is just things that I do personally and what works for me. I am fully aware that this may not work for everyone, and that's fine. I want to make this video for the people that are making zines and have found that it's a little bit hard to make money from them, but they want to be able to make them more often, so they're trying to find other ways to generate income. Okay, that's what this video is for. Okay, it's not supposed to replace your full-time job or whatever you do as your main source of income. I have lots of jobs. Okay, I'm not just a zine maker, so I just want to make that very clear that I'm no authority on how to make money or anything like that. Okay, I just think that this video would be helpful and maybe shed a little bit of light on what I do and just being a little bit transparent in that way. Okay, so for me personally, many of you probably already know my story if you've been following me for a while and watching a lot of my content, or maybe you even read my zines where I talk about my past life. I have had many lives before doing what I do now, which is being a YouTuber, making zine content, being an artist, having my own online shop, all of that. But all of that to say is that these are many things that help me live the lifestyle that I live, and I am someone that makes zines pretty much full-time whenever I want. If I want to make a zine, I can do that. What helps me do that though is the other hats that I wear. That's what this video will be on. It'll be about different products that you can probably make or sell in order to make a little bit of extra money. That way it can help you fund your zines. So the money doesn't have to be funding your life, right? It doesn't have to be you make a lot of money, you quit your full-time job. I mean, if that's something you want to do, go for it. I never, ever, ever, ever tell people to do that. I know a lot of small business gurus and people that make videos really encourage people to do that and take that leap of faith, but I will only say take that leap of faith if that's something that you want. I am never going to shame someone for having a full-time job, a 9-to-5 or whatever, because we do live in a capitalistic world where you need money to pay for your rent, to pay for food. And as much as I wish we can go back to the barter system of just trading things and goods and services for other things and goods and services, that's just not our reality, okay? So do what you need to do to be able to survive. And if that means that you have to work a 9-to-5, that means you have to work a 9-to-5, okay? There's no shame here in that. But these are just supplemental things that can help you be able to pay for your zine stuff, period. Like, it doesn't have to be, I'm gonna make all this money so I can focus on my zines. It could also just be, I need money to even make my zines, because maybe you don't sell them for money and you want to be able to get the money or a little bit of savings to be able to put towards your zine making. This will probably be a great video for you as well. So those are all the disclaimers. Now let's get into the products that I think could make you a lot of money that will help you with your zine journey, or if you are wanting to pursue like having your own small business or being a full-time artist or something, this may help you too. But I just want to say, oh my gosh, that this lifestyle is not for everyone. I've mentioned that plenty of times. I think it's a certain type of personality to be able to do the type of work that I do. I'm not saying you're not cut out for it. I don't know you. So you have to decide that for yourself if that's something that you want to do. But I will say it's very tiring, it's very taxing, but I thrive on sorts of pressure like that where I have to figure it out. That's just the type of person that I am. Really take this video as a stepping stone into further research you want to do to see where you lie on that spectrum. Do you want to make extra money from these products to fund your zines and that's it? Or do you think you want to leave your full-time job and find a way to make income with an online shop, with your zines as supplemental income? You will have to decide that, and this video is just to serve as one of many voices and sources of information that I hope that you come across, okay? I don't want this video to be the end all be all of your research on what you should do. I'm just serving you my personal perspective on it, and I hope you just take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, so first things first, I'm the realist.
First things first, I'm the realist.
I'm just kidding. First things first, if you're watching this and you're like, what the hell is a zine, Brie? Okay, well, I jumped the gun a little bit if you're new here. A zine is just a self-published magazine, but the main difference between a magazine and a zine is that zines are primarily focused on self-expression rather than making a bunch of money. As always, this is not to say you cannot make money from your zines. It's just a little bit different than a magazine because magazines' primary focus is to sell you something. So when you flip through a magazine, you'll see a lot of ads. You know, there's a lot of cool magazines out there, but zines, on the other hand, are just trying to share political ideas, art, photography, interviews. There are no rules to making zines. So just a shorthand, what I'd like to tell people to think of it as is like a homemade magazine. It could be really personal. It could be a little detached, and maybe you're just giving people information about something. It could be a fanzine. So maybe you make a zine about something you're super obsessed with and you just want to share with the world. There really are no bounds when it comes to zine making, and that's what makes it so fun. Okay, so the first thing I want to suggest for making a little bit more money from maybe your zines, okay? So I know that the video is talking about other products besides zines that you can create or make available to make more money, but I do want to start off with the zines because there are a few things that I've learned over the past decade of making them to help me generate more sales with them. I'm never trying to make you compromise on your integrity in order to make a sale on your zines. That's not what I'm doing. But what I do want to suggest is maybe thinking outside of the box to offer more value with your zines. Your zine is valuable as is, but what I've learned is that when I provide more with the zine, people are more interested. So one fun thing that I do enjoy doing is making variety zine packs. So when I sell a mini zine, I never really sell a mini zine by itself. I usually will sell it either with stickers, buttons, maybe there's some interactive elements, or I'll do a zine variety pack. So that way someone's not just buying one zine, they're getting 4 of them. So you can make it a pack and discount it. You could sell it full price. It doesn't really matter, but this is just something I've learned over the years and I started implementing in my own stuff from seeing other products like that. And I just thought, hey, why don't I just put it in a pack so people are getting more and I don't have to sell a bunch of little individual mini zines. So I started putting them in the packs and I make these labels for them that says what they are. So this is Variety Zine Pack Volume 2. And people have told me that they really enjoy this. They enjoy being able to open it up and see the different zines that come inside. They also just really appreciate the packaging. That's something that I think set me apart. I didn't really see that a lot. So I just started packaging my zines in really cute ways because I thought that it made it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And that was something that was fun for me. So if this is not fun for you and you think it makes it too businessy or you're not interested in adding those little touches, then don't do it. Like, this is only if you think that it will provide value for your zines and that's something that you see that's fun and a way to make a little bit extra money. So these, I find they sell better than trying to sell one individual mini zine because people are getting more bang for their buck. They're getting a variety. So it comes with these 4 zines. There are zines that I've made, oh my gosh, these are like so old. This one's Thoughts and Pieces. This is about how my dad wanted me to be a professional athlete, but I wanted to be an artist. So we fought and I moved out and I had to learn how to be a whole new person because my whole life was dedicated to sports and I really was going to go that route until I decided not to. So this is a zine I made really long time ago talking about that relationship I had with my dad. And then I have Mini Me, aka Minimal Me, and it is a mini zine of just collages and sketches that I made in college. So this is kind of what it looks like inside. So you can see a big difference between the first one, which is filled with mostly writing. This one has writing and different collages. and this one has art and it's more colorful. There's some sketches in here. It gives a really good insight to my mind, to my thought process, to my creative process, So I'm just trying to show you that it is a variety. This is primarily writing. It has blocks of text in it. This one has sketches and collages. This one here is a lot of writing. It's called Your Dyslexia is Showing, and it's just talking about, actually it's not talking about anything. It's just making a joke on my dyslexia, but also it includes a lot of poetry because, like I said, I went to college for English creative writing. So actually there was something inappropriate in that one, so I'm going to change it to a different page, but it's just a bunch of poems that I wrote. So it's selected poems by me, and then the last one is called One Sketch and Some Thoughts Volume 2, and this one is a mix of my own handwriting plus some more sketches and doodles. When you unfold the entire thing, there's my zine, but on the backside there is a secret poster that I made when I was like 23. You can see a big variety of just the kind of zine maker I was back then, how different I am now. You can see a lot of my thought process. So something like this is really valuable to people that like to buy zines because they get more than one zine in the pack, and that's something that you can do to maybe bump up your sale a little bit. But like I said, if that feels authentic to you, then do it. Okay, so now that I told you a little bit about how I'm able to diversify my zines, I want to go into one more thing before we get to the different products, and this is expanding on your skills. So if you learn new skills beyond zine making, you're able to monetize them, right? And I know it sounds annoying having to monetize your talents and your skills because that could take away from the fun from it. So this is just tying back into that theme I'm saying of if this feels authentic to you. I'm the type of person where I can handle it. I can do multiple things at once within my hobby turned career and still feel passion in it for now. I mean, I do get burnt out a lot, and I could talk about that too and how I overcome that and deal with that. But if you're the type of person that you're like, yes, I'm only really good at this one artistic thing or being creative, and I want to find different ways to make a living off of that, then maybe this advice may help you. One thing that really helps me is being able to commission my zine making skills. It's a little draining because commissions to me does feel like having a job that I have to clock in and work for someone else, but that's life. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't like, and a part of me being able to make a living as an artist and being able to have the time and freedom to make zines when I want to make them is doing a lot of things that I don't want to do, but they pay money and I'm good at it. So if you have a skill in something, and like I said, you don't have to monetize your skills, but if you have a skill in something and you can handle that and that's something that you can do and you can compartmentalize in your mind and still keep it fun for you when it's for yourself, then by all means commission your skills out to people. I've mentioned this in other videos, but one of my very first commissions that really broadened my perspective on being a full-time artist was making a zine for Mac DeMarco. So I was posting my zine content and my work online for years with no traction, and then randomly Mac DeMarco's management reached out to me and asked me if they can commission me to make a zine for his official fan club. So this was going to be a 20-page spread, and I had full creative control. The only thing that they asked is that maybe it resembles a yearbook. So I had it resemble a yearbook, people saying hi to Mac, what Mac means to them, how their music has helped people in their lives, and then I was able to design every single page exactly how I wanted to. They gave me free creative control because they liked my work. So that's something I mean about sharing your skills with the world, and sharing them online is not just serving yourself. It's not just like,
hey, here's this thing I created, hopefully you guys like it.
It's also serving as sort of like a portfolio. And that's something I never considered until I got that gig years ago. But to have a big artist like that reach out to me, say that they liked my work and wanted me to represent something for their brand was huge. And I got paid for it. So that was first of many commissions that I've gotten, and it really gave me the confidence to know that I could make a living as an artist. All I had to do was get over that fear of sharing myself and being visible. Not to say I don't have doubt and insecurities. I'm human. I absolutely do. There's a lot of people that make zines, and I think maybe people get caught up in what will make mine stand out, what would make someone want to commission me. And I think that's where the self-work comes in, of just really doubling down on who you are. That's what I do. I double down on, this is me. Take it or leave it. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. I'm not gonna fight someone to see my worth or see how cool I am. They can just walk away. That's fine. And then it makes room for people that actually do like my work to be able to find me, discover me, and pay me for what I do. And then also this brings me into another point, is to make YouTube videos or make content really providing more of either your work, advice about work that you do. This can expand beyond zine making, but this is primarily for zine makers because, you know, zines don't always pay the bills. So another way that you can make money is to monetize content about your work. I've been a content creator for the past 5 years just from sharing my work, and I get paid on a lot of different platforms to post my content. But I will say that YouTube does pay the best out of all the other platforms. So me providing my videos for free for you guys, it's also providing me compensation for my time and energy because I get paid through either brand deals, but also through YouTube's Google AdSense or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but every month I get money for making my YouTube videos. It's not my main motivator for doing it. Obviously, I love zines, but it is really helpful to be able to make extra money from making these videos. So I always tell people, join ZineTube. There's a lot of people on this zine community online that you can look at. There's a lot of great ones. I'm gonna list some right here. Different zine makers whose content I absolutely adore. And when you watch their content and you engage with them and you share their work with other people, it's helping them make more money. And regardless, it may not be a lot of money, but it is money. And it's from doing something we're really passionate about. So if you are like me and it's easy for you to talk about your zines, maybe you make zine tour videos, or maybe you give zine tutorials, or you give advice from your own personal perspective. These are all things that I do. It's easy for me to film the video and talk about it because it's coming from a genuine place. This is very natural to me because I love this medium, I love what I do, and I love helping other people. And in turn, YouTube pays me to do that. Like for even posting the video, it's like a win-win. So that's something else I would suggest. If you're trying to get in your content creator bag this year, you're trying to make YouTube videos, I'm gassing you up. I'm telling you to do it because the zine community is very small. And I think when we all add our voices to this mix, it really helps other people. You get different perspectives, you know? I'm very well aware that I'm just one voice of many, but I think what I say does resonate with some people. But also the other zine creators that I mentioned could resonate with you as well. So what's the harm in that? If anything, it's helping everybody. So I definitely suggest you doing that too. It could help you make a little bit more money. Okay, now we could get into the products that I make that helps me make a lot of money in my online store. So that's something else about me. If you did not know, I have my own online store called Bree's Tiny Print Shop that I've had for about 5 or 6 years now because like I said, I am an artist and a writer, okay? I don't only make zines, they're just what I'm obsessed with. I love them so much. So in order to be able to fund that and be able to make them as often as I do, I got creative on what I sell in my shop. So just a little fun fact, when I first started my shop, I started off with just zines and I think I had maybe 1 or 2 stickers. I wanted that to be how I made money, but I quickly learned that 1, zines are so niche, so not everybody buying from me wants to read a zine. They don't know what it is. Maybe they're not even interested in that. That's okay. So then I learned other things to be able to sell in my shop, which helped me generate more money. Me, I'm an artist. I'm like, what is it called? Multidisciplinary artist. I have a lot of interests and there's a lot of things I enjoy doing. And I feel like I'm able to really expand on that in my online store. I can practice a lot of different things, see what I like, what I don't like. But one thing that I dabbled in was screen printing and I fell in love with it and I started making shirts. And when I tell you guys, people buy shirts. If you are funny or you're creative, you can make designs. That is like golden when it comes to t-shirt designs because you can make any shirt your brain thinks of and then sell it. There's a lot of things I tried and I didn't like, but screen printing was really fun for me. Once I got it down and I was able to learn how to make shirts properly, I was able to sell them in my shop and I have not stopped since. And they are a big ticket item that sells because t-shirts are very accessible. Lots of people like wearing shirts, maybe more so than reading a zine. But I like to make a lot of things available than just the zines because maybe people want to support me, but they don't necessarily think a zine is that practical in their life, right? Maybe they're the type of person where they're like, I don't want to just buy a zine, read it once, and then it just collects dust on my shelf. That's very fair. If you're not interested in learning how to screen print yourself, which is fine, I do a mix of both, okay? I make some t-shirts at home and do a lot of it myself, but when I have the means to be able to pay someone else to do it, I do that as well. And the local screen printer I use is called Babu Screen Printing, but that's where I'm located in Long Beach. So if you're in Long Beach, definitely hit them up. I love them. Tell Anna that I sent you because that's my girl. And sometimes I go for her for printing when I just have so much work to do and I don't have time to do it myself. I go and I trust Anna at Babu Screen Printing. There's a lot of online ones you can use that can ship straight to you. You know, I always suggest you support locally, but if you can't, there's a lot of different ones online that you can use. But the shirts are really cool because if you're really into zines and you're obsessed with them, you can make zine t-shirts, zine merch. There is a gap for that, okay? When I first started, I didn't really see a lot of merchandise that I would want to wear as a zine maker. I really didn't see much at all. When I first started with my shop, I was like, oh, if I have an idea, a funny idea for a t-shirt or a cool design for a t-shirt, I could just whip that up myself and then sell it in my shop, and then it'll provide other merchandise for other zine makers, you know, that are probably looking for t-shirts that represent them as a zine maker. I feel like I was able to fill that gap a little bit in my own way, and then I see a lot of people making zine merch now, so it's cool. Like, you guys just join in, make your own versions. Don't copy other people. I've seen a lot of people copy my designs or copy my shirts and I'm just like, the zine community's so small, I'm gonna see that. So try to refrain from stealing designs or stealing like slogans and stuff like that, because people will see the zine. Like, I can't reiterate this enough. The zine community is so small. I don't care where you are in the world. We most likely all know about each other. But some of my most popular designs are the zine ones. One of my favorite ones is probably this one I made, and it says, "Zine making is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off." Isn't that cute? It's like one of my favorite shirt designs ever, and it's really popular amongst zine makers. It's a baby doll crop top, so it looks really sexy and hot on people as well. But I also sell regular t-shirts too. They're not all baby doll shirts. I try to offer a variety and also include inclusive sizing, so a lot of people can enjoy the zine shirts. So this is something that you can do. I make a wide variety of shirts in my shop that are also appealing to crafty people, maybe just funny designs. So that's something you can do. Also, if you're not very artistically inclined, maybe you don't think you can make your designs into a reality because maybe you think you lack the skills to draw, that's okay. You can always hire someone. So there's plenty of ways you could go about this. It doesn't have to be all about zines, but this is a great way that I make extra money as a zine maker, helps fund my zines, is by selling t-shirts. And that brings me into the second product that I think can make you a lot of money, and I know because it makes me quite a pretty penny, is selling stickers. This is like a no-brainer, guys. Stickers are awesome. Everybody loves stickers. I'm looking at the back of my phone right now. It has a sticker on it. My water bottle over there has a sticker on it, and it's just like the t-shirts where you can make really incredible, funny, cool designs that are very specific to you and then sell them to people. People, like, when I sell stickers, I'm like, wow, people have a little piece of my brain with them, like my very chaotic, neurotic brain. So some of the stickers that I make are zine related, but there's other ones that I make just because I have a funny idea and I think it's silly, and then when people buy it, I'm like validated in my weirdness. So for example, here's a few stickers I picked out that are my faves. These are, let me start off with the zine ones, okay? So I have my zine machine sticker, which is one of my faves. I enjoy metal, so having the metal font was like the easiest decision I ever made. But I also have a zine, a really cute one that's almost like the polar opposite of this. But I have a little zine making angel, and it kind of looks like a sunny angel. They made a zine and they have their little scissors in their hand. That's very cute. It's very popular in my shop. And then I also have this punk poster sticker. It's a really big sticker that I made for my zine club. Big, like, look at how big it is. Bigger than like the average sticker that I made for my zine club over on Patreon. I have a podcast called Zine Club Radio, so that's what this sticker is representing. The bottom there, you can see some of my zines. That's me, my podcast mic, and then some quotes that I commonly say on the podcast. Who cares if they don't like it? I like it. I say that so much because people ask me advice about getting over imposter syndrome and stuff, and I'm like, do you like it? That's what I say a lot. I'm like, who cares? I like it. And I hope I'm making sense. That's another quote on the sticker. I say that all the time because sometimes when I talk in these videos, I have notes that I'd like to refer to, but I really just like to go off the dome, and I'd be blacking out. Like I'll say a bunch of stuff and I black out, and I'm like, I hope what I said makes sense. So that's the gist of my podcast. If you ever wanted to join my Patreon, to join my zine club and hear me talk weekly about zines and just the state of my life, I'd be blacking out. I'd be rambling, but it's fun. And then I also have this cute one. This sticker is me as a Cupid. I really love Cupies and little angels, and I didn't see a lot of ones that looked like me, so I just made one. And this is back when I had eyebrow slit back in 2020, and I had a shaved head.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
but it still has my personality. My favorite colors are pink and green, so that's why I have the little pink and green clips in my hair. And it's just cute. It's me. Like, you can make little versions of yourself and then sell them on a sticker. You guys, it's so fun. It's so fun. Those are like the zine stickers and the me stickers, but I also make little dumb ones. Like this one I made back in 2021, and it's a kinky frog, so not safe for work. If you're a kid, look away for a second. But this one is a kinky frog, and it says you may spank it once, and it has a little has a little spank mark on its booty. One day my brain thought of this, and I was like, I'm not gonna suffer with this idea alone. I'm gonna make it everybody else's problem, and people give me money for this problem. Stickers are a really great way to make extra money, and the more stickers you have, the more people can add on to cart. You know, stickers are relatively cheap. In order to make income, I do sell a lot. This is not just in my online store, but when I do not commissions, but when I do vending events and I vend and do markets, I bring my stickers, and also I offer wholesale, so people wholesale my stickers. So it's a great way to just bump up an average order or an average sale in your shop, or just a way to support yourself. You could sell stickers outside of a shop too. You could just sell them on Instagram, tell people to hit you up in the DMs for it. You know, there's so many ways to do this, guys, but stickers, no brainer. Come on now. If you're not making stickers as a zine maker, you're fumbling a little bit, because it's so easy, it's so fun. There's plenty of ways to make them. I like to make them at home with my Cricut machine, but if you don't want to do that, an app I really love using is called Sticker App. It's really great. They're really fast, and the quality is always amazing. So definitely check that out. That's another way you can make money as a zine maker. All right, guys, here's a little bit more behind the zines action for you. I don't really ever show a lot of my workspace or living quarters or whatever, but in the closet here, I do have a lot of my stock for my online shop. I have these bins here. What I keep in here are buttons. That leads me to the third product I think can make you a lot of money, because I've had a lot of good success with selling buttons, and they just look like this. It's another thing I like to package up. The main reason why I package them like this though is because I do a lot of wholesale. That's something else that can make you a lot of money as well, but I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. But if you are interested in wholesale, definitely check out this video I made where I talk about how I do it. But like I said, I like to package it like this because when I ship out to small stores that are selling in wholesale, I like it to look very neat and packaged in their store instead of just having a loose button. But there's nothing wrong with the loose buttons, okay? So like, I know I have one in here somewhere that's like just loose, but I'll just open one up and show you. So here's one of my favorites. It's another naughty kind of button, but it's really funny. So it says, IF loud as hell. If you don't like it, get out of this Joanne fabric and craft stores. Look at that button. That is a best-selling button, folks. I used to make shirts like this, but then I ran out of the specific green for the shirt. So I was like, let me just make a button. And man, these fly off the shelves, guys. These are like really, really good, but I'm not saying that you have to make a funny one to sell. You could just make whatever you want, like whatever your brain comes up with. These are really cool because they're accessible to people, right? Sure, they could buy your zine as an add-on. That's usually what happens, is that people will buy a lot of stuff like this. They'll buy the t-shirts, they'll buy the stickers, they'll buy maybe the keychains and jewelry that I make, and then the zine will be just like a bonus, like something added on. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that are fans of zines that buy them, but just in general, the way that I market myself online, people may discover me and not necessarily be interested in my zines, but still want to support. So I find that stuff like this sells. They buy a lot of the other stuff. I do them DIY, and I bought my button maker from AmericanButtonmaker.co or American Button Maker Co. I'll leave the link. It is an investment, but since I have a small business, I'm able to write stuff like that off for my taxes because it's basically like machinery or like
I was gonna say weapons.
What the heck? Not weapons. It's a tool that I use for my small business. So to me, the investment is worth it. And if you think that the investment's worth it, or you just think it's fun, you know, it is like a couple $100s to get the button maker, but to me, it pays itself back over time when you're selling these at zine fests. And maybe you can even add it on to your zine. Like you can sell a zine and have the button be included with it. You know, there's really fun ways you can incorporate this stuff to be able to provide more for your customers, but also, you know, if you add the button on, you could add a couple more dollars onto it, you know, and if someone really wants it, they'll buy it. I think it really makes your work stand out when you could provide different things and make it fun. And this is something people can wear. Like I could put this on my hat or I could put this on my shirt. So other buttons that I have are related to zine making. So another fun one that I like is this one that says, I make zines because therapy is expensive. This is another popular one, and it's really popular at Zine Fest because then people can buy this as a supplemental thing to the zines. So that's another example of you coming up with original ideas or maybe original slogans or maybe something you think maybe no one will like but you, and then you put it out there and you're gonna be surprised that people resonate with it. And also, why wouldn't they? You know, if they hadn't seen it before and like your ideas are very specific to you, I find that those do the best. I find as an artist that the more specific I am about myself, the more people resonate with it, which is so weird. The things that I think no one will understand or I think I'm not making sense, people will end up telling me, I'm so glad you said that because I feel that way too. And what is more, like, what is cooler than connecting with someone over something you thought was so vulnerable or maybe you were too scared to share, and having it connect with someone is really incredible. So this is one of the third things I would suggest for you to make supplemental income. If you're an artist or a small business owner like me, it's a really great addition. It sells. There's other things that sell too. These are just my top 3 because they're the top 3 things I really enjoy making. There's a lot of things that make a lot of money that I don't enjoy making, so I don't make them, but these just work for me. And who knows why? Like, I really don't know. Okay, I had to get off the floor because your girl ain't young anymore, and that kind of hurts sitting on the floor like that, but I digress. Like I said, this advice may not work for everyone, and not everyone is wanting to do this. Maybe this is a lot of energy for you, and I will be honest, for me it is too, but I like doing this, and I really enjoy being able to have a lot of different skill sets. It really is like a breath of fresh air. It really provides me a lot of variety when I get tired of zine making, you know? When I get tired of making zines and I just want to take a little break from it, I take a step back and I can make sticker designs, or I can create content about zines. You know, maybe I could talk about something zine adjacent, because this necessarily isn't about zines per se, it's about other things that I do that help make me money. So I really hope that you find this video at the very least entertaining, but at the very most helpful. And I hope that you take some of these things and try them out. If they don't work, they don't work, but hey, at least you tried, right? And you never know, something could stick for you. Please do your own research. Please use this as a springboard into exploring more of these different methods and ways of making more money, because that's what I do. I think a lot of people see how many like zine videos I make and think like, wow, I would love to have Bree's life and just make money from zines, but this is behind the scenes of what makes me the money for real. Like zines, don't get me wrong, people buy my zines and I love being able to vend and provide wholesale. That's all helpful, but what I found is that I'm very niche. We all are. Everybody watching this, we're in our own little secret society that not a lot of people know about. We only think a lot of people know about it because we all know each other. And so we're all talking to each other about zines and we're thinking, wow, look how many people love zines. But out in the real world, I'm always having to explain people what zines are, and then they don't want to buy it because they're like, okay, like, cool. All of this to say is that zines are very niche, so they don't appeal to a broad mainstream audience, right? That's the whole point of why we do what we do, is because sometimes our thoughts and our opinions and what we want to say don't fit into mainstream society. They can't pigeonhole us. So that's why we turn to zines to be able to publish ourselves, and that's what gives us our power. So I'm not trying to say that I wish zines were more mainstream. I like the way that they are, but accepting that the way that they are is also accepting that you may not make a lot of money from them, and that's okay. Learn something new, have fun with it, or stay at your job, you know, because it can help you fund these things, all right? Don't feel shame in anything you got to do to survive, all right? I'm on your side, and that's why I made this video, because I hope that it's helping you in some way. So if you want to do these things, you can do them, okay? I'm living proof. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, bye.